This is something that couldn't be more bizarre, even if we wanted. Breaking Epstein victim Virginia Giuffre says she has been given just 4 days to live after a car crash. Giuffre took to social media to claim she had suffered kidney failure and begged to see her children one last time before she dies. This year has been the worst start to a new year, says the update on Instagram, but I won't bore anyone with the details. But I think it's important to note that when a school bus driver comes at you driving at 110 kilometers per hour as we were slowing down for a turn, that no matter what your car is made of, it might as well be a tin can. I've gone into kidney renal failure. They've given me 4 days to live. I mean, it's not only the event which it's tragic, but it's the timing of this. And when I say the timing, is because we all know all the troubles that have been surrounding the Epstein files since, well, I think that even before Donald Trump was sworn into office, that they say that they were going to be released on day one, and spoiler alert, they weren't. And you remember that back in March 4, Pam Bondi had just announced that she had received a truckload of Epstein documents from SDNY on that Friday. Did you remember that she said that she had the documents on her desk and it was a nothing burger, less than a nothing burger? It's now in the possession of the FBI. Cash is going to get me a detailed report as to why all these documents and evidence have been withheld. We want arrests and perp walks, and yeah, we want to keep the victims safe, but it seems that some of the victims don't look that they are having a safe life. They're not safe because it's rather, I don't know how to say it. It's like the red-headed libertarian says. Sending a school bus at Virginia going 110 an hour has the CIA written all over it. She was not supposed to survive. This was a warning to other victims. As Blair White was tweeting, Epstein victims are dying while our government is playing political games with the client list. And by political games, I don't blame them using those words, because you remember the binder, the Epstein Phase 1 binder fiasco, in which they were invited, these influencers were invited to the White House for this kind of briefing and given them a binder of stuff that was heavily redacted. And by heavily redacted, I mean it was like all black in some pages. You couldn't read anything. Okay, I can understand that, for example, this was a page to protect potential victim information. It was the ones doing the messages. But the problem is how they handle this. And everybody, I think that everybody agrees that this was handled poorly is an understatement. John Harrell, these Con Inc. influencers who got binders on the Epstein files have all advocated for transparency in the past, yet each one of them accepted the invite to participate in this controlled release of the info. They're all frauds, and this proved it. Maybe that was the point of doing it this way, especially considering the rumor that the binders don't really have any new info. I remember that Mike Cernovich had to set the record straight about what happened. They were not supposed to be taking pictures of them or anything else. There was no reason for them to be in front of the cameras for this, making this an event. They had already been invited to the White House many times prior to this to talk about not only this but other matters, in the sense that, okay, we want to have this like kind of platform for announcements. And I think this was the day that there was a visit of another president, and that's why there were so many cameras on the side. I think there was the day, I don't know if this was the day there was Zelensky in there or Keir Starmer in there, but I don't remember, but that's why there were camera people in there. And that's why the optics already bad were even worse, especially because all the redacted stuff. The phase 1 Epstein binders are filled with heavily redacted versions of information that's been publicly available for 5 years. 5 years. This entire PR stunt is one of the craziest scams I've ever seen. What a disaster. And we are trying more recently to push for this. I can get a bit impatient because it's like how couldn't they know that this was going to be such a gargantuan task? Shadow of Ezra, Attorney General Pam Bondi gives a major update on the Epstein files after reports that 1,000 FBI agents were working on redactions for national security reasons. That is another thing, the national security. Oh my God, I made a video about those national security reasons. She reveals there are tens of thousands of pages of documents, tens of thousands. It's like the JFK documents, and hundreds of child victims tied to Jeffrey Epstein. Bondi says the FBI is working around the clock under orders from her, Kash Patel, and Dan Bongino to ensure the files are released. She confirms redactions will be minimal, only to protect the victims. She said that redactions were going to also for national security, in which, we had that question. Why national security? And coming back to the fact that Virginia Giuffre has suffered this brutal accident, I mean, there's so many people when they say that there are no coincidences, that the timing can be so bad in some instances. It's like this. Thanks to Laura Loomer for exposing Jessica Reed Krause. It gets worse. This is Jessica Reed Krause. You have to read this. This is baffling. She was invited to the White House to get an Epstein binder and spread Pam Bondi's lies. Here is a photo of Jessica allegedly wearing a shirt that says "Free Ghislaine." If you are asking the question, that Ghislaine that she posted on her Instagram, and her Instagram is the House in Habit. You know that Instagram, I'm pretty sure. Ghislaine Maxwell is serving prison time in Florida for helping Jeffrey Epstein traffic women. The White House and Pam Bondi invited a fangirl of Epstein associate to get exclusive access to Epstein documents that have already been released. I mean, I don't know, but so far, in so many instances, it's like the people vetting stuff at the White House are not doing a great job. It's a very lousy job, to be fair. This is very sick. Why was a Ghislaine Maxwell fangirl allowed to gatekeep Epstein documents given to her by Pam Bondi? Clearly, the White House didn't do any vetting. Why did Pam Bondi and staff at the White House invite a woman who wants Jeffrey Epstein PDF file associate to be freed? Everyone should be disgusted. Jessica Reed Krause is an abomination. No wonder why she was so excited to get a binder full of PDF file names. And again, the thing that many people are saying that this makes no sense at all is like, okay, you are in this critical condition. Why are you posting something to Instagram? This is the part that I do not understand. Regardless of, okay, this is a way to communicate with the world, but okay, can't anybody else like do it in her place? Isn't she in critical condition? And what kind of doctor is so specific? I mean, I'm asking this question out of curiosity. In which scenario you're given specifically 4 days to live? If you have a kidney or renal failure, can't you go into dialysis or something? Again, completely ignorant of this stuff. I just find this a bit too specific and odd that we are finding out through Instagram. I mean, so again, this kind of stuff is still the timing suspicious, the situation suspicious, but I would like to know what you think about this in the comments. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Battle Language Guy. Much love and bliss.